video is brought to you by Letsynthisize Academy, the #1 place for practice-oriented courses for serious music producers.
Yo, Dan Larson here, welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode. Big reveal, I'm the producer guy behind Anatomix, and we just released a very cool EP called Feeding the Immortal, and in this video I'm going to break down the track Feeding the Immortal. But before we jump into it, check my academy. I have an awesome Noisia start to finish masterclass, Noisia style drum bass masterclass. But right now, let's jump into it. Cool, so here is this beauty. So I don't want to waste your time, you can check the full song. You can check for the link in the description. So let's start with the first sound that is, one of my favorite. So I love this operator patch. It's basically a factory preset FM block guitar or something, so we can check it. FM block, yeah, something like that. So I had to play around with it a little and with some process, but basically this is a very simple FM patch. With tons of crazy processing, and there is a call and response kind of thing here, because as you can see, this is the main melody and it responds with a simple pad that I honestly really love, and I made this for a Loopmaster sound pack. It was called something like Cloud Ambience or something like that, I don't really remember, but anyway, I really love it. And I played around with the main guitar with some reverb and just, reversed it. This is such a cool technique, I love it. And to make it full, I used some Virtual Riot atmospheres. So this was the first one. With some Foley. And the cinematic hit that surprisingly, it sounds really good with the block guitar. Okay, so basically this is the intro. Then when I step this up, I wanted to introduce the main bass. So it is a lot easier to, make a fade or a transition between the drop and the intro. And, this is the resampled version of that. It doesn't give out too much, but I really love it. Because basically this is what you can hear if I deactivate the gate. Lots of little noises and percussive kind of sounds. So let me show you what is happening in the drop, where, the thing that I sampled here. So this is drums, and I used Weird Hits drum rack to add some interesting things here. So this thing is part of the bass. Later I'm going to show you how I made the actual bass, but with the bass, so as you can hear, I just wanted to add some accent to the bass. And this is what I took and resampled to the intro and play around with the gate to, basically just let the main percussive element cut through. When we got to the breakdown, I introduced the full bass. And this plucky kind of instrument that was from my very old tutorial. That was a Noisia, it was the Noisia 00 bass. Like a really simple serum bass. And you can check it on my channel if you are curious how I made that. And as a second version, I tried to make the same thing but inside operator at this time. So this is the serum version and the operator version. So this way I was able to make some more colors out of the sound to evolve the song itself. And this is a really cool technique because, with operator you have a lot of ways to shape a sound with big FM chains that operator offers. And I also had some cuts To be honest, I have no idea where these sounds come from. So let me check in the browser. Yeah, they can be whatever, I don't remember. But anyway, they sound really good with the main bass. And as you can see, it is actually important to have these basses or bass shots as a response for the call synth. So the OO bass, or well, this is not a bass, it's more like a synth, is the question or the call, and this is the answer or the response. Because the main bass, well, it's kind of static. We don't have too much bass hits here, but this can be interesting. And again, this is a sample again that I just played with some process that I'm not even using any pitch modulation, only inside the MIDI. And this is kind of interesting because the original sound sounded like this. A really, I would say, regular sounding Reese bass, but with some process and some, the process is very minimal filtering, EQ, reverb, some saturation, and the pitch movement inside the MIDI clip. So I did the same with other samples here. I think this is lovely. And this can be used as a fill anytime, so really cool stuff. Okay, so let me show you the main bass, because I think that is actually important. So, as I showed you before, this is how it sounds. But the original bass inside Vital sounds like this. Such cool sound. Now, as you can see, I'm using two layers. This is I would say a cymbal layer, because inside Vital I'm using a long ride. This is a cymbal. I'm not sure if I can, it doesn't allow me to show the source sound. And I just amplitude modulate it using this sine wave. So as you can see, with the distortion, compressor and some filtering, I was able to add some very cool amplitude modulation on the cymbal, the long ride, this thing here. So I added this one on top of the main bass. That is kind of resonant, but altogether, honestly, it creates very, very cool texture. So, in Vital, this is a little chaotic kind of sound. I use a basic shape with this snare, whatever, warping mode, a filtered square, and some white noise. And in the effects, a little distortion, OTT, and an equalizer, so it is not too bad. I'm not even using any LFO here. But what I really love is the amp. Because as you can hear, without the amp, it's just pointless. And then OTT to the end. And after the whole group, I used EQ and a Pro. I think I EQ'd match with my reference bass. I wanted to create something similar to that. I don't remember what was that, but but to me it was accurate, so I succeeded. I really loved it. Anyway, I resampled it and put that into a sampler, and I added some pitch bend, pitch modulation, and some FM to create the pluck or the hit or the punch on every MIDI note. And actually, it is important to use this one with the bass. This is what really makes the sound that I wanted to achieve. Full punch on the bass. Okay, so basically, this is a song itself, but what I really love is after the second intro, or the breakdown, I was able to step up this whole thing. Because, when the drop hits, I mean, we have the energy, but in the second drop, the the energy is a lot heavier, simply because of the rhythm, because in the drum groups I used a very cool shuffle loop. This one, and this, which is from my old sample pack, release at Loop Masters. Without them, you can hear that the energy is lost. And how I use this Noisia 00 bass or 00 synth is what really makes a difference, because previously I put it on the off beat. But here I use this 00 synth a lot sooner. I think it is on the 16th or somewhere, because originally it was here. So it makes a huge difference if you use it here or here. And this very simple little movement creates lots of energy here. You would love it. So with Mike and Anatomix, we decided to have a little different second drop. And it was not only this little difference, but when we got to the end of this part, this section, I use a very different bass, and actually these are Teddy Killer basses, and a filtered another Teddy Killer bass. And of course I use a different drum loop here when the filtered bass comes. And this creates a very, very nice outro, I would say. You know, a very cool color difference, I would say. I don't know, but to me, it sounds really cool. And I wanted to create another different kind of outro. It's a very short outro, sort of cinematic. Very simple strings. And a distorted lead. You can achieve this sound very simply by using the saw, filter it and distort it. So very, very simple stuff. And this sound was made by Mike, so Anatomix, and I really love it, honestly. Very, very clever processing, 2 saw waves, some FM, flange feeder, and some minor processing with some distortion. Okay, so I hope I was able to inspire you guys, and don't forget to check my academy for very cool start to finish courses, and see you guys next time. Peace!